I like to send out a big thanks to my family for the support, because when you have a job like I do that travels a lot, you have to have a strong family. I have 3 kids, a son that's in his 30s, a daughter's in her 40s, and grandkids. So they've been behind Grandpa, Uncle, Dad, Dale Jones for a long time. So it's important to have a strong family behind you. It helps keep you grounded, because sometimes things can make you kind of lose your way. So a family is always good to keep that together for you. And then also I have a lot of Eastside fans or former classmates that still come out and see me play. They don't dance as long as they used to, but they get out there for a couple of songs and shake their booty. And I know who they are, so I'll call them up and put them on the spot, make them pop them bones and get out there and shake it up. Being inducted in the Hall of Fame is nice to be recognized for things I've done in my life and things that I did in high school. So I think it's I don't know if you call it a privilege, it's a, what can I say? It makes you feel good. You know, it's nice to be recognized for things you've done. I'm in the Blues Hall of Fame and Rock Hall of Fame, so it's nice to be in my high school Hall of Fame. Founders' memories. I think in between classes, going through the hallways, meeting up with your friends. East High was a good place for me. Little did I know it was going to help shape me for my career. And at that time, I thought the kids were great. I didn't really have any downside. Matter of fact, I like East High so much I didn't miss any school. Maybe one day a year, something like that. But a lot of kids would try to find ways of getting out, you know, with the phony passes and stuff. But I like going to school. You know, so anyway, that's kind of the way it's been for me. And then when I was at East, I also played in every band they had, as far as the marching band, concert band, stage band. We played at basketball games, football games, walked in the mud, did the parades, wore the uniforms. You know, so little did I know I was going to make a living at it later on. Also, the academic side prepared me for college. So with the wrestling, it paved my way to go to Simpson. So I went to Simpson College for a year. But then I used to have to commute to be in the band. I had to go to Indianola. Then the road was 2 lanes and a pain in the butt. So I decided to transfer to Drake. And at that time, they had a wrestling team. So I wrestled for them and got to play in the band on the same city. And then the band decided to go on the road, and I've been gone ever since. Here's my advice to students that are at Eastside now. Stay in school. Learn things that you don't really realize that you will need in life. As far as business, just how you communicate with people, the different languages that I did take in school. I embellished on that as I traveled, and I ended up speaking German. I was in Germany and Spain. I was in Mexico. I was in Spain. Spanish came in handy. Of course, they had to slow down for me a little bit, but able to get through the basics. So basically, my word is this. All those are going to Eastside. Stay in school. Do a good job. It'll pay the rewards for you later on in life. Things I've done, example is I've helped coach in my spare time. Since I was a wrestler and did pretty good at it, I've been helping volunteering time, like with the coaches at Roosevelt or Merrill or a different school. I have a 13-year-old that's very athletic, so I mentor him, and then as I've been called to come to different schools to actually perform and give those that are coming up in music something to look forward to. You know, it doesn't just have to stop at school. You can make a living at it. You can do it for fun. Depends on what level that you want to do, and that's basically what I got for as alumni. I see them in the community doing things, you know, to help younger ones as they come up, mentor other kids, and I think that's a real good thing. You know, when you can hear from someone else who's been there, done it, it's nice to have somebody that can kind of help keep you focused so that you don't drift off. 18-year-old stuff. Well, here we go. We're getting ready for life. That'd be about what I would tell myself. Because when you're 18, getting out of school, you're like, yeah, school is out. What's next? You know, so that's when you start working. You're driving a car now. You know, you may have a little girlfriend on the side, or you may have hobbies that you like to do, and it's time to explore the world, basically. And that's what I did. I think the extracurricular activities were the most fun. You know, that's when you're doing things that you like as an interest versus because you got to. So class is class. You got to do that. But I think I had more fun like in the stage band. That was a small version of the big band, and it was usually the better kids of the big band that played more pop music or hits of that, like instead of Washington Lee Swing, instead of the traditional songs that the band played. So that was also fun. And then playing on a wrestling team and going to the sporting events. That was also a good time, and I didn't miss them. I was the oldest of 5 kids, and he said, I always wanted to play sax. You're the oldest, you're going to play sax. Oh, okay. Was no negotiating. It was just, that was it. So then all my brothers ended up playing, because my mom was a singer, so that's where our musical skills come from. I found out when I got older. My dad's tone deaf. I found out as I got older, and I was sitting next to him in church, and he started singing. I'm like, ooh, okay, now I know where our talent comes from. So then my mom would have put on recitals at church, and she'd have all the kids back her up. My sister would play piano, another brother would play drums, another brother played trumpet, one played guitar, and I played sax. So it was a Jones family recital at church. Oh, when I left college and went on the road, my dad wasn't too happy about that, because we were going to go seek fame and fortune. The band was from Des Moines, and I was one of the youngest cats in the band. The older guys had been out on the road. One of them had been out in Vegas. And so anyway, it was like a horn band. So we were going to Georgia. We had everything set up, we thought. And so anyway, I was quitting college, thought I was great. I'm going to quit college and go be a star. My dad said, what? You're going to give up college and your scholarships? Oh, no. So anyway, he wasn't too happy about that. But anyway, the band members talked to him. We went on the road, and everything fell apart. We went down there to see an agent that said he was going to book us all over the place, and he had the best band, and he was a school teacher. And then what happened, our band was better than his band. So he disavowed anything we were going to do. So this is it. I can't book you guys. So now we done come all this way. We're staying in an apartment, all of us in one apartment. Now no jobs. So, but by lucky, the night that we did play, a guy was in there named Bobby Marchand, who had our gold records. He was looking for a new backup band. So he came to us. He said, listen, I like you guys. I need a new band. I'd rather pick you guys up, and that's how I got started. He had out Shake Your Money Maker, and then he had There's Something on Your Mind. Those are his 2 big gold hits. So then I got to meet Joe Tex and James Brown and Tina Turner, and I played with all those different shows. And then later on, it led me to get picked up by James Brown, because his manager came to one of my shows when I was in Georgia. And actually, the club was owned by one of James Brown's former drummers. And his manager came in and caught me on break time. And he said, I like the way you play. So we're looking at a sax player. So I'm with James Brown. I'm like, yeah, right. I said, you got any business cards? Oh, I don't have any business card. So then there was no cell phones and stuff. So he wrote down on a napkin. He wrote down his phone number, address, and I gave him mine. Figured I'd never see him again. So 2 weeks later, I told him, he said, what would it take for you to leave this band? I said, well, I need to give a 2-week notice. I need an airline ticket and an advance. So I thought I'd never see him again, And so anyway, sure enough, 2 or 3 weeks later, I got a call from my girlfriend who's in Daytona Beach. She said, you got a letter here from King Productions. So I said, open it. So you got an airline ticket to go to Augusta, GA, and you got $2,000 advance, and you need to be there in 10 days. I'm like, well, heck. That's what I've been waiting for. So the way I went, and then I started playing with James Brown is another level than a lot of cats realize. The musicians in that band are amazing. So I got to play with some of the best cats in the world. And I remember when I was talking with Maceo, and I was learning a line that he was showing me. And I said, man, thanks for teaching me that line. He said, well, we didn't hire you to learn. We hired you to play. I said, oh, it's like that around here. So anyway, it kind of shaped me up real good. And then later on when I left him and went with Tina Turner, they offered me a little bit more money. So I went with Tina Turner, but little did I know about the drama that was going to unfold in that organization. So by that time, I'd been in national groups about 7 years. So I had a little bank account put together and nice house in Daytona. So I thought I can do this myself. I don't need to be a side guy anymore. I can start my own band. So I started Split Decision. I came back to Des Moines about late 70s, 77, somewhere in there, and started Split Decision. So I took Split Decision with the connections I had from being national bands and got our Dick Clark show, Soul Train, our record. Then they were doing 45s, so we released 45, and we recorded a whole album of it. Did the 45 first. So that took us on tours around the country. And that went on for about 10 years. We started our second album. And then we had some internal problems with the singer that we wrote most of the album around. Sometimes people get a little big-headed. And they think they don't need the rest of you guys. I'm just going to move on. So she did. So meanwhile, I got kind of disgusted. And I said, well, I'm going to go freelance. I'm not going to have a band for a while, so I dissolved Split Decision. Then Prince's manager called me. Said Prince was putting together a new group in Minneapolis. So they...
Like Prince?
Yeah. So they flew into Minneapolis. So I worked in the studio with them for about 6, 7, 8 months. And the cold weather is unbelievable.
From Daytona to Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, because I've been living in Daytona all that time, you know. And then even with Split Decision, we were traveling out west. So California, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Washington, like that. So we stayed in more warmer climate. We know how to dodge the weather because, you know, when you book a band, you can move around. So anyway, when we got to Minneapolis, every day there for months, I mean, your car, you're lucky if it starts. I remember when the snow finally melted in June, I found my car keys. I said, oh, man, here's my keys right here I've been looking for. You know, you start finding things in the grass that you drop, but it's too cold to find them, so you just leave them. So anyway, the project was taking a while. So Prince had gotten married and was kind of slowing down a little bit. He wanted us just to work around town on side projects till he calls us again. Well, I got a call from the CC Riders. They had regrouped when Cochran retired. They regrouped, and so they called me to Seattle. And they said, well, you want to go to Hong Kong or you want to stay in Minneapolis? I said, Hong Kong, Minneapolis. That's not a hard decision. So I went to Seattle, practiced with the CC Riders, and flew to Hong Kong. And then that started, supposed to be there for 6 months, we opened up some Grand Hyatt Hotel. Prince Charles and Lady Di were still together at that time. They cut the ribbon on the hotel. This is in 1989. They cut the ribbon on the hotel. And this was the flagship for, these are massive hotels. If you ever get a chance to Google Grand Hyatts, in Asia, they're huge. We don't have nothing in Iowa like them. One hotel may be 4 or 6 blocks square. And they have swimming pools on the roof. Rooms started at $350 a night to $10,000 a night. While I was there, I got to meet people like Madonna, Sharon Stone. You read my resume, we became friends with John Klein Van Damme. He was doing a lot of movies over there, Steven Seagal, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I could go through the list. But when they come to Asia, they usually stay in the Hyatts. We opened up Planet Hollywoods over there. Planet Hollywoods, you know, they had all the actors come. So Sidney Crawford came, I mean, Jackie Chan, all them people. So that's who we were performing for, those type in our audience. And that went on for about 10 years. Like about 10 years, I come back to my roots. Yep, sure did. And it's easy because I came back here and I stayed with my dad until I got an apartment. And then at that time, my girlfriend was from Switzerland, who I've married since that time. I got her to come to the States. She was working in Beijing, China at a Swiss resort. So anyway, she came to working in Dominican Republic, so I was closer. So for a year, she worked there and we'd kind of commute back and forth from USA to Dominican Republic. And then she came, I told her how great Des Moines was. You know, she said, well, you got skiing? I said, oh, sure, we got skiing. She said, what about beaches? I said, yeah, we got beaches. We got beaches here and everything. So when she landed at the airport, we're driving down, flew a driver go past Gray's Lake. And I said, well, there's a beach. She said, oh, that's a pond. That's not, no, because she lives on Lake Geneva in Switzerland. See, so she wasn't impressed. And so then she brought the skiing. We went up to one of them hills, I forgot the name of, Hollow or something like that, wherever it is. Yeah. So anyway, I drove up there and she says, well, where's it at? I said, well, that's it right there. Oh, I ain't skiing up there. She said, that's not no hill. She's used to doing the Alps, you know, and she...
It's the same thing.
Yeah, the same thing. You just be quicker. And you won't need to lift, you know, lift short and that kind of stuff. She didn't want to get out of the car. Oh. So the only thing to redeem me was she also did jumpers, horses. You jumping over the barrels and over the poles and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, she did that in Switzerland in competition. So I took out to Perry Meadows and met a friend out there Tracy, who's a trainer. And he said, you know, we're looking for another trainer. So he said, I want you to come out to my ranch. Let me try you out and see how you are. So we went out to his ranch, and he put her on a horse, and he said, well, just go around once, let me see. He said to me, she's hired. So anyway, she did it for a year. She trained horses out at the Prairie Meadows, and that kind of boosted to help my situation a little bit. So eventually we got married, and then we have a 13-year-old now that we've been raising. So that's kind of where I am now.